Thank you, and good evening. Oh, it's nice to see a big crowd. It's great. We welcome you to the concert, and we're going to get started in our first section, the sacred section. A little bit about some of those songs. The first two are sung in Latin, and we have a book here, Renaissance Men, that those songs came from. And a little bit about them. The first one, Adoramus Te, was written by Palestrina, who is among the most important composers of the Renaissance. The Renaissance was the period in history from 1400 to 1600, give or take a week or two. And that's, yeah, Palestrina does that Adoramus Te. Our second song by Giuseppe Pittoni, I'm not even sure how he got in the book because he wasn't born till about 60 years after the Renaissance ended. But I didn't really notice that until I was looking at the notes here to say to you tonight. So we're going to just pretend he's part of that Renaissance book there, and we will sing Cantate Domino. A brief translation of those, since we are singing them in Latin. The first one is, "We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you because your holy cross, by your holy cross, you have redeemed the world. You who have suffered for us, Lord, have mercy on us." And Cantate Domino is, "Sing to the Lord a new song, praise him in the gathering of the saints. Let Israel rejoice in him who made them, and let the sons of Zion exult in its king." These are both short pieces, so we will sing them right in a row. You can hold the applause. Following that, we will do a song called "The Yearning" by Craig Courtney. And it's a song, there is a yearning for the promised one, a yearning for the Lord who visited his own to bring salvation, a yearning for the day of his appearing. And it might actually be your first Christmas song of the season. I don't know if you've been to another Christmas concert yet. This one isn't really one, but we'll sneak one in there. And then I'll explain more about the other ones when we get there. First, Adoramus Te.
Cantate Domino, cantate, cantate Domino, canticum novum, laseius in ecclesia sanctorum, in ecclesia sanctorum. Letetur Israel video,
Next, we have two versions of the Lord's Prayer. The first one, for something different, we have a solo by Jack Strite. It's a lot more light in texture. It's just piano and voice, and it's a more contemporary sound, almost pop-like version of the Lord's Prayer. And then I'll give you the information on the one following that, which is also a version of the Lord's Prayer. But right now, Jack Strite.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins as we forgive all of those who sinned against us. And lead us not into temptation. Deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, thine is the power, thine is the glory
This next version is a song called Baba Yetu. And it was originally written as music for a video game called Civilization 4. And then the composer rearranged it for choir. They had a translation of the Lord's Prayer into Swahili. And since that time and releasing it that way, it's been very successful. It won a Grammy in 2011 for Best Instrumental Arrangement Accompanying Vocalists. And since that time, it's been performed around the world, including the Kennedy Center, the Hollywood Bowl, the Royal Festival Hall, the Dubai Fountain, and at the New Year's concert of the 67th session of the United Nations General Assembly. We have a number of added instruments to play along with us, and we have John Bird doing the solo, who amazingly memorized all of the Swahili. I didn't. No pressure, John. Does anyone here speak Swahili? You're safe, John.
Thanks.
I don't know what rhubarb and watermelon are in Swahili, but I guess it doesn't really matter. So anyway, this is called Baba Yetu.
Baba yetu yetu liam binguni yetu yetu amina. Baba yetu yetu liam jina lako evi tukuzwe. Baba chakula chetu, tuna chohitachi utasame, makosa yetu, hey, hamanasi tunavio asame, while you tusukusea, tusi tutie, katika majaribu lakini, utokoe, na yule, muamoe milele. Chetu, tuna chohitachi utasame, makosa yetu, hey, hamanasi tunavio asame, while you tusukusea, usitutie, katika majaribu lakini, utokoe, na yule, muamoe milele.
Some of you who are regulars at our concert might even recall that I mentioned being on a diet one other time. I told you about a guy in our choir who said he was on 2 diets because he wasn't getting enough to eat on just one. And now my wife, who's the last person I know that needs to go on a diet, she wants to be on one. She's doing this fasting diet. And, oh, wait a minute. Guys, you can be moving over. Oh, never mind. She's doing this fasting diet because after 3.5 years of living here, she's put on 5 pounds. I put on 5 pounds at lunch. But I am trying a new one. It's a beer diet. So far, I've lost 3 days. I digress. Sorry. I'd like to turn your attention over here to the center for our quartet from the Brothers in Song, the 4 brothers. This is David Lance, John Bird, Jim Cunningham, and Ralph Gingery. And they will take care of announcing what they're doing. Take it away, guys.
Okay, when we debuted the quartet last spring, we did a couple of popular numbers the WVLG crowd all knew, so we kind of played a little music trivia, named that tune. And we chose a couple of two popular numbers now, so we can kind of do the same thing if you guys are up for it. So I'll give you a few clues, see if you can guess the title before we get to it. The songs are very different in nature, tempo, and sound, but they have a lot of things in common. They're both love songs that were written for movie musicals. They have some other things in common. They both have 6 words in the title, and 2 of the words are the same in both titles. They're 50 years apart in the writing. The first one was written in 1994, and Elton John in that year won an Oscar, a Grammy, and a Golden Globe for the song. It was from the Disney animated movie musical, The Lion King. Anybody have an idea what that is? Can You Feel the Love Tonight? There's either a Disney fan or an Elton John fan, one or the other. So we're going to give you a June Dale arrangement of Can You Feel the Love Tonight? There's a calm surrender to the rush of day, when the heat of the rolling world can be turned away. An enchanted moment, and it sees me through. It's enough for this restless warrior just to be with you. And can you feel the love tonight, tonight? It is where we are. It's enough for this wide-eyed wanderer that we got this far. And can you feel the love tonight, tonight? How it's laid to rest, It's enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the very best. There's a time for everyone if you only learn that the twisting kaleidoscope moves us all in turn. There's a rhyme and reason to the wild outdoors when the heart of the star-crossed Voyager beats in time with yours. And can you feel the love tonight, tonight? It is where we are. It's enough for this wide-eyed wanderer that we got this far. Can you feel the love tonight, tonight? How it's laid to rest. It's enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the very best. It's enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the very If you guys are Sinatra fans, you probably will guess this next one with the clues we've given you so far. But it was written almost 50 years ago. It debuted in 1946 as part of a musical most of us probably never heard of called Three Little Girls in Blue. But it really became famous when Frank Sinatra put it as his first track on what some would argue are maybe his best album ever, called Songs for Swingin' Lovers. You have any idea what it is? There's a dead giveaway coming up, though. Geico last month introduced a new commercial in that That's What They Do series, and Peter Pan goes to his 50th class reunion and he insults a lady about her age, and then he flies up off the reunion and he sings, "You Make Me Feel So Young." So we're going to try that one here. Do I seem as cheerful as a schoolboy playing hooky? Do I seem to gurgle like a baby with a cookie? If I do, the cause of it all is you.
'Cause you
You make me feel so young, and you make me feel so spring has sprung. And every time I see you grin, I'm such a happy individual. The moment that you speak, I wanna go play hide and seek. I wanna go and bounce the moon just like a toy balloon. You and I are just like a couple of tots running across the meadow, picking up lots of forget-me-nots. You make me feel so young, and you make me feel there are songs to be sung, bells to be rung, and a wonderful thing to be flung. And even when I'm old and gray, I'm gonna feel the way I do today. 'Cause you make me feel so young. You make me feel so young. You and I are just like a couple of tots running across the meadow, picking up lots of forget-me-nots. You make me feel so young, and you make me feel there are songs to be sung, bells to be rung, and a wonderful fling to be flung. And even when I'm old and gray, I'm gonna feel the way I do today. 'Cause you make me feel so, you make me feel so, you make me feel so, you make me feel so young.
The Four Brothers. This next section of the program, how many of you looked up the word on your phones? I don't know why I'm asking. The lights are out. I can't see if you're raising your hands or not. If you did, or if you already know the meaning of that word, just sit there and look smug. I was looking up, the next section didn't really have a theme. It was just kind of a mishmash of songs. And so I was looking up mishmash to put in the program to verify whether it was one word or two. And the list of synonyms was huge. And a lot of them were pretty interesting. And they had the usual hodgepodge, potpourri, and mixed bag. But they also had some other very interesting ones. Farrago, Latin, omnium, gatherum, salmagundi, and then the one I liked best was Gallimaufry. So I just stuck that in there. It's just, a section of different things. The songs that we're going to be doing here, the first one, Maid of Llanwellyn, sounds like a folk song, but it isn't. It was just a composed piece. And the next one maybe sounds like a folk song, but it is a folk song from Newfoundland. And then the third song of this section, I Would Be True, is just an inspirational song Sarah has soloist Ralph Gingery, And then I Would Be True has soloist Charles Snyder. And the third song, I Would Be True, I'd like to dedicate that to good parents and good teachers everywhere, many of whom might be here.
Sheep on the mountain, nor boat on the lake, nor corn in my coffer to keep me awake, nor corn in my garden, nor fruit on my tree. Yet the maid of Llanwellen smiles sweetly on me. Yet the maid of Llanwellen smiles sweetly on me. Rich Owen will tell you with eyes full of scorn, threadbare is my coat and my hosen are torn. Soft on my rich Owen, for faint is thy glee, when the maid of Llanwellen smiles sweetly on me. When the maid of Llanwellen smiles sweetly on me.
I came upon a charming girl, and Sarah was her name. Her parents wants a husband with riches, wealth, and fame. I haven't the wealth, but riches and fame have never come my way. Till the night I went to visit my love, and through the keyhole say, Sarah, Sarah, won't you come out tonight? Sarah, Sarah, the moon is shining bright. Put your hat and jacket on, tell your mother you won't be long, and I'll be waiting for you round the corner. My Sarah is a girl like this, a girl you seldom see. She loves me only for myself and not for my money. And every night at 8 o'clock, she puts her needles away, and standing right outside her door, I through the keyhole say, Sarah, Sarah, won't you come out tonight? Sarah, Sarah, the moon is shining bright. Put your hat and jacket on, tell your mother you won't be long, and I'll be waiting for you round the corner. One night, a little after 8, I crept up to her door. I whispered, Sarah, darling, as I oft had done before.
I'll give you Sarah,
Said a voice, and I went down with a flop. As her mother, she kicked me all around the shop.
Sarah, Sarah, won't you come out tonight? Sarah, Sarah, the moon is shining bright. Put your hat and jacket on. Tell your mother you won't be long, and I'll be waiting for you round the corner.
Her mother thought she killed me. I let her think so too. As I lay there on the floor, I scarce knew what to do. Alas, she said, alive or dead, my girl I'll let him wed. So up I jumped, said, thank you, ma'am, and to my girl I said,
Sarah, Sarah, won't you come out tonight? Sarah, Sarah, the moon is shining bright. Put your hat and jacket on. Tell your mother you won't be long, and I'll be waiting for you round the corner.
I would be true, for there are those who trust me. I would be pure, for there are those who care. I would be strong, for there is much to suffer. I would be brave, for there is much to dare.
I would be
I always like to give the accompanist, David Flanagan, a chance to shine a little bit. And since I'll make sure I say this right. And then we're using Dennis St. Germain on drums and Don, is it Hainlin on bass. And since they're here, we're going to have them play along with David. And we have a little jazz number for you that is entitled Okay, this next section, the title of the program was Memories, and we were trying to do some songs from our memories, but memory is kind of a fickle thing, isn't it? I mean, you might remember what you wore to school on the first day of third grade, or your first sweetheart, or the night you lost your football homecoming game. I don't know where your mind went. But then again, we struggle to remember why it was we walked back into the kitchen, or where we parked our car, or the name of the person that we're married to. Things like that. But songs, now those stick. So in this next group we have 3 medleys for you, and we're going to try to cover some songs that you might remember, songs that your parents sang, or songs from the radio, or songs from your teenage years. And if you don't remember any of these songs, it's okay, because you're probably not going to remember you were at this concert anyway. So, so it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. The first medley we're going to do is a medley of American folk songs, and I think you'll know most of these. It's called Americana Songbook.
Join the jubilee, everyone come singing. Leave your cares behind, hear the banjos ringing. Sing and dance with joy, brothers all be cheerful. Sisters to be glad, no
Ralph Gingery has had a huge hand in the production of this program. Ralph, raise your huge hand. There's his. This next medley that the show was named after, Memories, was arranged by Ralph. And as well as the instruments that you heard earlier on Baba Yetu. He's the one that scored that up for the instruments. A little background. Ralph spent 11 years, well, he got his musical training at Indiana University. And then he spent 11 years in the Navy, 10 of which he was the arranger for the Navy band in Washington, D.C. Yeah. And then he started a music publishing company that I guess is still, it's been bought out by another one, but you can still find the music under that publishing company's name. And let's see, he was a soloist, he was in the quartet, he should have been on the front of the program. But anyway, we are so happy to have Ralph here and have him share his talents arranging these songs for us. This next medley, most of these songs were written in the early 1900s. But most of them were brought out and were used in a movie later on, and that's where you're probably going to have heard these. So I think you'll recognize these. These songs were sung by the likes of Judy Garland, Bing Crosby, Doris Day, Mitch Miller and the gang, etc. So I think you'll know these. The medley is entitled Memories.
Just to be sad, thinking of you.
Before we sing our last piece, I'd like to thank the good people of North Lake Presbyterian Church for allowing us to be here. Thank all of you for coming to the concert. Our next concert is Tax Day, April 15th, 2016. Come here and get away from the stress. Or running from the IRS. I don't know. Either way, they won't find you here, so come back. The final piece is it's choral highlights from the Jersey Boys. And the Jersey Boys probably don't need much introduction. Most of you have heard of it. And it's a musical about and using the music of the Four Seasons. What I don't know if you remember is how long ago that came out already. It opened on Broadway in 2005. It won 4 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. And since then, it has had productions in Chicago, Las Vegas, London, Melbourne, Sydney, Tokyo, Singapore, South Africa, the Netherlands. I'm going through all the countries of the world, by the way. And elsewhere. And the movie version was produced by and directed by Clint Eastwood and came out in 2014. We have, I think, 3 soloists in here. Brian Medeiros, Vince Morris, and John Rogerson, and including Dennis St. Germain. Thank you, Dennis, for playing drums with us tonight. Don Halen on bass. Thank you. Linda Rozowski on keyboards. And David Flanagan on piano. And here's our final piece for the evening. Thank you for coming. Jersey Boys.
ain't no good in our goodbye. True love takes a lot of trying. Oh, I'm crying.
Let's hang on to what we've got. Don't let go, girl. We've got a lot of love between us. Hang on, hang on, hang on to what we've got. You say you're gonna go and call it quits. Gonna chug it all and drink our love to bits. Bring it up. I wish you'd never say enough. No, we'll both regret it. Don't you go. No, get over and stay. Let's hang on what we've got, Let's go, girl, we've got a lot of love between us. Hang on, what we've got.
You're just too good to be true.
Can't take my eyes off of you.
You be like heaven to touch.
I wanna hold you so much.
At long last, love has arrived.
And I thank God I'm alive.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you.
You're just too good to be true.
That took guts. Thank you so much for coming. Have a good evening. Drive carefully. Thank you.
Baba yetu liam binguni yetu amina. Baba yetu liam jina lako evi tukuzwe. Baba yetu liam binguni yetu amina. Baba yetu liam jina lako evi. Utu paleo chakula chetu. Tuna chohitachi utasamehe makosa yetu hamanasi tunavyo wasamehe waliotusukosea tusitutie katika majaribu lakini utokoe na yule muamoe milele. Tuna chohitachi utasamehe makosa yetu hamanasi tunavyo wasamehe waliotusukosea usitutie katika majaribu lakini utokoe na yule